Hello. Welcome to my latest video where I will be talking today about my September to be read list, or TBR for short. My list currently has 9 books on it, about evenly split between fiction and nonfiction. I do have an extra book on here of nonfiction, an extra book on here of fiction, because I'm currently reading it and I'm counting it in my September list, even though I've already started reading it. Fun fact, I'm also starting a history class at the community college just for fun, because that's what people do for fun, right? They take history classes. I'm a nerd. It's fine. So I'm still trying to figure out, am I going to be able to read everything on my TBR list, and also what I'm going to be needing to read for class. But this is the plan. We'll see how it goes. So book number 1 is the book that I am currently reading, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is within the Grishaverse. So this is part of the Shadow and Bone series. Not exactly. It's a partner to the Shadow and Bone series. So if you haven't read the Shadow and Bone series, I think you're supposed to read Shadow and Bone first. But so far, I'm about halfway through. Yes, you will see, once again, I got this book from the library because I am economical. I'm not going to say that I am cheap. I'm economical. So I like to buy books if I feel like it's something that I'm either really going to love or something that for whatever reason I really want to own. And sometimes I will go get a book from the library, love it so much that I will then go buy it. But I don't know that I own any of the Shadow and Bone books. I think I just got them all from the library. I read them all last year or the year before. With the pandemic, I've lost track of time. But anyway, this is the 4th book in the Grishaverse. If you have seen the Shadow and Bone TV series on Netflix, I think it contains both. It's both Shadow and Bone and also Six of Crows kind of joined together to make one series. So anyway, the book is really good. It's definitely murdery. Plenty of murder. A scene I just very recently read involved a bad guy getting his eyeball ripped out and then chucked overboard of a boat. So definitely plenty of murder. Fun. It's also got some magical murder in it as well. So if you're not overly familiar with the Grishaverse, this contains people who, I don't know that they have special abilities. People have special abilities. So if you enjoy fantasy, if you enjoy, I think it's still in the YA category. They definitely have teen on the teen. No, I pointed to the fantasy sticker. Teen on the label. It's pretty murdery. It's murdery teen. Definitely, yeah, check it out. All right, next up, more fantasy genre, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, so I've owned this book now for probably 2 years. I'd have to look, and I still have not read it. I did actually buy it because I think it's something that I will like. Many people have recommended this book to me. I have to think that I am probably the only person who's interested in Book Talk or Bookstagram or BookTube or any of the social media book platforms who has not read a Sarah J. Maas book ever. So I'm going to try and do that. That is my plan. I don't even know. In a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. So there you go. We've got an assassin. We're straight up with murder. The girl's carrying swords. I guess you could call those swords. That's swords, right? Yeah. So I'm going to call this murdery for sure. So anyway, I am determined to read it in September and I will report back. Okay. Next up, first nonfiction book. And again, this is another one of those fun books that I'm going to put book in parentheses or in quotations here. I need to start being better about reading Amazon reviews before I invest in books, because this is another one that I'm going to call a pamphlet. That being said, this is some of the smallest type I have ever seen. So I did look through this. It's by Charles River Editors, and they describe themselves as a small publishing company. It's a boutique digital publishing company. That's how they describe themselves. I have a lot of questions about that. But anyway, I digress. So this is called Scotland Yard, The History of British Policing and the World's Most Famous Police Force. So I've been doing a lot of research on a serial killer by the name of Peter Sutcliffe. He was a serial killer in England in the 1970s. He was caught in 1981. Horrible dude. But part of what has made his case really interesting to me is, and they will acknowledge this themselves, so I'm not being a jerk, how badly the police force botched it. They interviewed Peter Sutcliffe, I think, 9 times before he was arrested. Like, he was just on every radar. He fell under every category of bad guy, and they just never put the pieces together until he was finally arrested. Fun fact, he was actually arrested for stolen license plates. That's why he was finally brought in, stolen license plates on his vehicle. But he did have a prostitute in his car, and it was in large part prostitutes who were being targeted. It was not exclusively to prostitutes, but it was primarily. But anyway, so I've been reading this report called the Byford Report, which was what the police force put out after the conclusion, after he was captured and all of that. And one of the things they're talking about a lot is why the policing was so badly botched. And they're talking a lot about how Scotland Yard is no longer involved and all of these other factors that I just don't know what they're talking about. So I basically bought this as a supplement to my research on the Byford Report and on Peter Sutcliffe, because I don't understand the British policing. So trying to get some background information, and that is what I am doing with this. All right, next up. Where the Crawdads Sing. Okay, this is another one. Like, I just can't believe I've never read this book. So I'm honestly not even sure what it's about, other than that I do know that it is some kind of a murder mystery. For years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barclay Cove, a quiet town in North Carolina coast. So in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. ... I think the movie is in theaters right now. It was just released. So I want to read the book before I see the movie. So Where the Crawdads Sing, Delia Owens. So fiction, will report back. Okay, next up, as discussed. So I'm going every other one, fiction, nonfiction, in case you weren't sure. So again, I am really into Peter Sutcliffe right now, the Yorkshire Ripper. So this is one of the several biographies that I have picked up on him. Yorkshire Ripper, The Secret Murders, the true story of serial killer Peter Sutcliffe's reign of terror, by Chris Clark and Tim Tate. I don't know. It's about Peter Sutcliffe, and I'm into Peter Sutcliffe at the moment. So that's what I will report back on that one as well. I have purchased several biographies of Peter Sutcliffe. I've also watched a few documentaries on him. So it'll be interesting to see how they compare. Whether, which biography do I feel like was the most valuable to read. So, Yorkshire Ripper. Okay, now back to fiction. Under the Blood Tree. So by P.J. Grondin. Grondin. Under the Blood Tree. So, another one that I actually started reading 2 years ago, and I did not finish it. But I think about it, and I want to finish it. So, I'm going to finish it. So, I actually met this author, P.J. Grondin. I have another one of his books up here somewhere. Where is it? P.J. Grondin, right there, Drug Wars. I met this author at a craft show. So, again, I think it was 2 years ago. He signed the book for me. So, 10/3/2020. So, not quite 2 years ago. And I am confident that I'm going to see him again at the same craft show in October. So, I want to have read his books by the time I see him, because I'd love to support him and buy another one of his books. I do do like the book. I don't remember why I didn't finish reading it. Maybe I'll remember while I'm reading it, but he's a local author. He is not somebody that's super well known. I think he's probably self-published. I don't know, is he self-published? PD House Books. Probably not then. Yeah, PD House Holdings. Local publisher, local author, and I want to support him. That's really what it boils down to. This one's a little bit interesting, and I think now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of remember why it felt a little bit anticlimactic to me. First of all, there's a misspelling on the back cover right there, and that immediately turns me off. But sidebar, this one is about 4 boys who, I can't remember, I'm trying to remember if they murdered the guy or if they witnessed the murder. I think they witnessed the murder. But it was done by a friend of theirs, and they were involved in hushing it up, and it's now 16 years later. So I think it felt a little anticlimactic to me because we already know what happened. I don't remember. So anyway, I'm going to finish reading it though. It's one of my September reads. Okay. Next up, Facing the Yorkshire Ripper. So this is another one of the biographies that I picked up. This one, I think, if I remember correctly, yes, was written by one of the survivors. So this is written by Leigh, who survived being attacked. Yes, Leigh was followed home and attacked by Peter Sutcliffe, who hit her over the head repeatedly with a hammer. She was then stabbed with a screwdriver, leaving her with life-threatening injuries. So this is the account of a survivor. So I think we all can acknowledge that one of the biggest challenges when researching or being interested in serial killers is that you're basically giving them the fame that they want and not giving enough credit to the victims. I don't know, credit, not giving enough thought to the victim. So this being able to look at things from this perspective, I'm really interested to read that. So again, we'll report back. Okay, and my last fiction book is called A Lesson in Vengeance. You can see I did actually purchase this one again, or as well. This one was showing up as recommended in some of the other BookTube videos that I have watched or on Book Talk, and it sounds like something that I would like. So this is the dark queer academia novel fans of the genre have been waiting for. I don't know why I think I'm gonna like that, because I'm not sure I've ever read a dark queer academia novel. So is this the book I've been waiting for? I don't know. But Felicity Morrow is back at Dalloway School, the centuries-old ivy-covered campus that was her home until the tragic death of her girlfriend. She even has her old room in Godwin House, the exclusive dormitory rumored to be haunted by the Dalloway Five, a group of students who all died mysteriously. Yeah, so it sounds interesting. A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Leigh. So yeah, sounds interesting, different. Maybe, I don't know that it's the book I've been waiting for, but it sounded good and I'm going to read it. Okay. And my final book, which is a nonfiction book, The Rise and Fall of Violent Crime in America by Barry Latzer. I will be honest with you, not only is this a library book, but I've actually checked it out twice, and I think it's been renewed now 3 times, and I still have not read it. But I don't know. I mean, we're immediately in statistics here. This feels like it's probably going to be in the same vein as American Homicide, not a light beach read. But I am interested to hear World War II and its aftermath, the golden years, ordeal, I don't know. So anyway, fingers crossed. I'll be honest. This is the one I think I'm going to have the hardest time getting through. But I am interested. I'm interested in this subject matter. So I want to read it. Like I said too, with my taking my history class, this is the one I think I'm going to be the most challenged to get through. And eventually the library is probably going to want me to return the book. Maybe eventually. Anyway, there you go. So Please comment down below if you have read any of these books, and let me know your thoughts, and also let me know what you're planning on reading in September. Please also remember to like and subscribe. That will really help me grow my channel. And as always, have fun, stay safe, and don't murder anyone. All right, thanks. Bye.